I felt like I needed to come on here and talk about something that I feel like many Christians are missing in Jesus's words on judging. And I feel like this goes into what Paul talks about in 2 Timothy about rightly dividing the word of truth. So the verses that I'm talking about are from Matthew 7, verses 1 through 5, and John 7, verses 20 through 24. So I want to start off with the comparing the two passages side by side, or top and bottom. And what you can see here is that judge is used with the exact same Greek word in both passages. So knowing that, we want to look at the context of both passages, because that will help us determine what Jesus is saying, because these are two very different meanings in what he's teaching us. So if you take a second to pause the video, you can see that Jesus is setting up verses 1 and 2 for verses 3 through 5. Now what we see in John 7 is Jesus talking to the crowd about healing on the Sabbath. He specifically tells them down here, stop judging by mere appearances, but instead judge correctly. So we have the same use of the word judge, but in two totally different contexts. So in Matthew 7, Jesus is saying, address your major flaws before addressing someone else's minor flaws. But in John 7, Jesus is saying, I want you to look not at what you think you see or what is on surface level, but rather I want you to look at things as they are and use discernment. Now here's an example of judging correctly outside of the Gospels. We read that when Paul and Silas were sent to Berea, the Berean Jews received the message that they were preaching, and they examined the scriptures every day to see if what Paul said was true. And not only that, they received it with great eagerness, and therefore Luke writes they were of more noble character than those in Thessalonica who became jealous of Paul's message. And here's another example in Revelation where Jesus says, I know your deeds, your hard work, and your perseverance. I know that you cannot tolerate wicked people, that you have tested those who claim to be apostles, but are not, and have found them to be false. So next time someone says, you can't judge me, or you can't judge him or her, or even just claims the truth, you'll have a better understanding that what they're saying is a flawed interpretation of Scripture. And just remember Jesus' words, blessed are all those who hear my words and put them into practice. Thanks for watching.